Here at the Stone Table, we are pretty passionate about global missions, and sometimes that can cause us to get a little ahead of ourselves. Just like this.
Marketplace skills are missionary skills.
A few years back, I did something really stupid. And I know, it's hard to believe that's possible, right? But a story hit the headlines about a man claiming to be a missionary who seemed to have done something reckless and stupid in another country. The details were actually unclear, but the way the story was initially framed, it frustrated the heck out of me. He was making a mockery of legitimate missionaries and missions efforts. Some of my dearest friends are working to take the gospel to the hardest places around the world, and it initially seemed like this guy had utilized methods that were making them look bad. So in the rawness of the moment, I pounded out an article and I posted it on the internet. I had to set the record straight and fast. Turns out my understanding of the facts was completely wrong. And as the real details began to emerge, a pastor friend, he actually reached out to me with a gracious challenge. He said, "Are you sure that caustic article is the way you want to represent yourself in the Stone Table publicly?" Man, was he right. So I pulled the article down and I corrected the facts and the tone. My instinct to try and grab people's attention by being quick to a current events conversation was a complete disaster. So listen, I certainly believe Christians should be active in the public discourse. But we live in a moment that urges us, even incentivizes us to have real-time commentary on almost everything. So these unrefined thoughts that we used to articulate to a close circle of family and friends are now being broadcast to the whole world in a matter of seconds. And the temptation is huge. If you want to get attention, you have to jump in early while the fire is still burning, and you have to come in hot, heavy, and totally sure of yourself. Unfortunately, that's usually when the facts are least clear and my thoughts are least formed. So here's the unwritten rule of thumb that I began trying to use after that idiot article that I wrote. My hot takes usually aren't God's takes. See, I've learned this the hard way over the years. When my instinct is to comment, my self-righteousness is usually the line leader. Wisdom and grace are slower. I'll say that again. Wisdom and grace are slower. The world doesn't need Christ followers who are quick on the draw. It needs Christ followers that model the truth and tone of our Savior. So let's strive to be voices of thoughtful wisdom and grace in our public discourse, in our homes, our neighborhoods, our businesses, and especially, friends, online. How might the Lord be challenging you to slow down and seek God's wisdom before jumping into the next hot conversation? Wisdom and grace are slower.